God doesn't speak to me. Yes, he does. He speaks to everybody. He said that if the people didn't praise him, that the rocks would cry out and give him glory. If rocks would cry out to give glory to him, God is speaking to you. Do you have the ability to hear, or has your heart become so hard that the conditions are not conducive to hearing what he's speaking? One of the characteristics of a hardened heart is this: it is no spiritual perception. When a person has a hardened heart, your ability to perceive things spiritually is almost non-existent. And it manifests in 4 different ways. The first way is a lack of understanding. The second way is an inability to see spiritual truths. The third way is an inability to hear God's voice. And the fourth is a failure to remember what Jesus has told you. It's quiet in this place. Go to Mark chapter 8 and verse 17. Jesus gives them some stories and some more parables, and he speaks about the leaven that's used for the bread. And he shares the story with them, and the disciples, they're confused, and they say something really silly, which was common among them. They kept not understanding what Jesus was saying. In verse 17, it says this: aware of their discussion, Jesus asked them, why are you talking about having no bread? And then he begins to break it down. He says, do you still not see or understand? He said, and this is powerful, he said, are your hearts hardened? Do you have eyes but fail to see, and ears but fail to hear? And don't you remember what I have been telling you all along? Here's the crazy part. When you can't see and hear what Jesus is showing you, when you don't understand what he is telling you, when you fail to remember the lessons he's taught you in the past, and you keep repeating the same lessons over and over and over and over again, it's because of the stubbornness and the rebellion that comes from having a hardened heart. Do you know when you harden your heart, you block the ability of God to speak to you? He's speaking, you just don't have the capacity to hear it. Yesterday, last night, my wife and I were washing clothes, and the washing machine and the dryer were both going at the same time, and she was in another room around the corner, and she was speaking loud and clear, but because I was in a place with noise around me, though she was speaking clearly, I could not hear anything that she was saying. And I kept saying, what? 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 Repeat it again. Say it again. What did you say? She was like, I've been saying the same thing over and over. Step out of the environment where you can't hear me and come to a place where my voice is clear. But when you have a hardened heart, the voice of God is not clear, though he's speaking without impediments. We're just in an environment where we can't hear what he's saying. And I want to tell you this, when I was planting the grass seed in my yard a month ago, 3 weeks to a month ago, it doesn't matter how much grass seed that I spilled on the driveway next to the grass. I could have spilled 100 seeds. I could have spilled 1,000 seeds. I could have spilled 1,000,000 seeds. Under no condition would that grass seed take root, because the environment of concrete is not conducive to the growth of grass seed. You keep saying, I need more word, I need more word, I need more word. God says, no, you need to stop sowing the word unto a concrete heart. Because it will never take root under these conditions. God doesn't speak to me. Yes, he does. He speaks to everybody. He said that if the people didn't praise him, that the rocks would cry out and give him glory. If rocks would cry out to give glory to him, God is speaking to you. Do you have the ability to hear, or has your heart become so hard that the conditions are not conducive to hearing what he's speaking?